Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
Good, Michelle. How have you been?
I'm good. Lindsay, have you read any books or watched any shows or movies recently that have kept you guessing about the ending?
Oh my gosh, yes. Let's see. I just watched the movie To Catch a Killer. It was interesting.
Ooh.
It was a good one. It was just one of those, I think, on Netflix.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was definitely guessing throughout the movie as to
Mm-hmm.
who the killer was. So, yay,
Mm-hmm.
true crime.
Was it so? Did you like it? Did you recommend
Yeah,
it?
it was a good movie. It wasn't a bad movie. It's not the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
but,
too great.
yeah,
Doesn't sound like a
I
ringing endorsement.
I didn't hate it. So yeah. What about you?
I would say The White Lotus. That's a TV show.
I hear everyone's watching this one.
This is awesome. I mean, it's incredibly dirty, but,
Wow.
but it's so good, and that definitely you're the whole time you're guessing,
Really?
like what's gonna. Yeah, it's really fun because every episode you're kind of guessing what's gonna happen, and I would even at night look up people's theories and all this stuff. So it's really fun, and I love things like that. But it is hard when you watch them. You're not binging them because you're watching them like when they're actually airing.
Okay.
And then you really do have to wait, and it's so hard.
You just want to binge. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but so love that. That's a great show. So guys, before we get into it, we want to let you know that towards the end of the episode, we are going to have a Spotify poll for you. So guys, if you listen, you know that on Spotify, if you're listening there, every episode we have a poll question. But there are certain polls that we announce over the air, and then we will actually announce the results in a future episode. And this is just a really fun way to interact with our listeners. So definitely wait till the end of the episode so that you can hear what the poll question is.
Yeah, this is the way you can make your voice heard within our community. We want to get to know you all as listeners. And so putting in a vote in the poll shows who you are. Okay. So make sure you listen in and participate in the poll at the end. And while you're here, go ahead and hit the follow button. If you're in Spotify, follow on Spotify. If you're in Apple, follow on Apple. Wherever you're listening, hit the follow button. Okay.
Yes. Perfect. So this came up because I was speaking with a friend the other day, and she said that a certain show kept her guessing. And I thought that this is just a really good way to explain a mystery, a thriller. So today we're going to share how to say that a show or a book or a movie is a mystery.
Interesting. Love it. Very important, especially if you want to recommend something to a friend. Or if maybe sometimes people watch stuff in parallel, like maybe you don't live with the person, it's just a friend, but you're watching together, right? Do you ever do that and you're sharing? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And the most exciting is when you didn't know that the person was watching that show and you realize, and there's that moment of, oh my gosh, we have to talk, right?
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's get into some of the things you might say. First one is keeps you guessing. And this is what you asked me at the top of the show, Michelle. What else?
Right. You might hear some also like it keeps you guessing until the very end, right? For example, you could say, I have no idea what's going to happen. This show keeps you guessing.
Yeah. Or I like to read really exciting psychological thrillers that keep me guessing.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, let's move on to the next one. It keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, it keeps you. So that means you got to be on your toes. You got to be ready for anything.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is true not just for a movie you're watching. This could be true for anything in life, right? Maybe your kids keep you on your toes, because they're always like causing issues or something, or you have to respond.
They're so cute, but yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, I couldn't put the book down at night. It kept me on my toes the whole time. And you're not really on your toes.
No. You're not going to stand up and watch the show or read the book. I mean, that would be funny. Or I'm binge watching this series because it keeps me on my toes. Right? You like it. You like that. Some people like that kind of thing. They like to not know what's going to happen next.
Yeah. So, and then we're going to teach a related word. I love this. This is the best. A twist. So this is like a twist in the story. It's there's more this is more something happens that you wouldn't expect. So it's kind of a shocking thing that happens, and it's also so much fun to learn, right? So if you think of, okay, like even just if you think of like clothes or something, everything is straight and then you twist them and something changes. So a twist, something you wouldn't expect.
The most twisty movie that I can think of recently is the movie Conclave. Have you seen Conclave? We won't talk about what the twist is, but it's really interesting. I did not see it coming at all at the end of the movie. So I recommend everyone watch that movie.
And isn't that the best? Like, to me, there's nothing better than watching something with a good twist or reading something.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So I thought the murderer was Kate, but there was a huge twist. I won't tell you, but it's coming.
So you've already seen it, and maybe now I'm watching the show or watching the movie, and you're kind of informing me on what to expect, right, Michelle?
Yeah, which I really shouldn't do. And we've done a show about episode about spoiler alert. So
yeah, for sure.
You shouldn't even tell someone that there's a twist. Right? Because if you tell them there's a twist.
Because then they'll expect it. Then they might look for it. It's true. I've just ruined the movie Conclave for everyone on the show.
Yeah.
It's true. So we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back. All right, Michelle. So what else might we say about twist?
Right. Yeah. So just one more example could be, did you guess what was going to happen? I really didn't expect the twist.
And then leaves you in suspense. Another common phrase. Her style of writing is so much fun. Every chapter leaves you in suspense.
Or I can't believe they left us with a cliffhanger. Every season they leave us in suspense.
Yeah, I was just talking to someone yesterday about why is it, we know it's established knowledge, at least in the podcasting world, and that the target market for true crime is women in their like 30s, 40s, 50s. Why is that? Like there's a lot of, why is that's who consumes true crime? It is
interesting. It's kind of become this joke almost that that's the audience. I don't consume true crime. Do you?
No, I really don't, to be honest. And I'm not into it, but only because I haven't gotten into it. Like I haven't found my gateway podcast, right? But I don't know. I tend to consume news podcasts and more like current event stuff. Maybe it's just not my personality, but why is it that it's mostly women that consume true crime? We'll see if maybe our listeners have a theory, right?
Yeah, that is a good, that is a good question. So I wonder why. So leaves you in suspense. And then Lindsay, do you really love these kinds of thrillers or mysteries that keep you guessing?
Yeah, I do sometimes. I do. I think a good movie like this is fun, but I also like rom-coms. I do like, what is that? Not horror, but what is that one? Not suspense. Thrillers. I like thrillers. Yeah, thrillers, as you just asked. Yeah, exactly. I do like those.
I don't like scary, but I do like the psychological. I just don't like things popping out at me. I think I've said that
gory,
before. I don't
bloody,
like the jump takes or whatever they're called. Jump. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but but I do love a good twist. Oh man, that to me is the best.
Did you watch Blair Witch Project when it came out, or I don't know, were you too young or
years after? I did. Okay. Because I don't like scary movies, but I do think that at some point I watched the Blair Witch. I did watch it, and I think it scared me for a long time.
Yeah, probably. I watched it right when it came out and it freaked me out. I think I was crying when I first saw it. I was in high school and I was definitely crying. I was like, this is so scary.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, let's do a role play, Michelle. So here you are telling me about a movie you just saw.
All right, here we go.
So how was it?
Oh, Lindsay, it was incredible. It kept me on my toes the whole time.
Oh, fun. Were there any twists?
Ooh, a huge one. I didn't see it coming. It kept me guessing.
I'll have to see it. Sounds like it would leave me in suspense.
For sure.
Nice. Yeah, okay. All right, let's go through this, Michelle. So what did you say first?
All right. So I said it kept me on my toes the whole time.
And I said, oh, fun. That's a good response there. Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Were there any twists?
Right. And you shouldn't even tell someone there's a twist, but
no, you really shouldn't.
You asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said a huge one, and here's a little bonus expression. I didn't see it coming, right? I was totally unaware, and then I said it kept me guessing.
And by the way, we know that that's supernatural because that's what I said when I mentioned conclave and the twist at the end. I think I said I didn't even see it coming.
Right.
So we're
That's
teaching
true.
you real English here, guys. Very real English.
Yep.
And then I said, I'll have to see it. Sounds like it would leave me in suspense.
Yeah, and I said for sure. So yeah, very natural conversation.
I don't know if there are any good movies in the theater now. I love going to the movies, Michelle. It's like one of my favorite things to do in the whole world, especially on a Friday night when you're tired. You just want to go get a big thing of popcorn and go to the movies. But I feel like there's nothing out right now.
I don't even know what's out. That's how bad I am. I have no clue what's in the theaters.
Well, if I find anything good, I'll let you know.
Yeah. You let me know. Let me know. But going to the movie, it's always fun, and the sound of people eating their popcorn between the previews and the start of the movie, it's great. But if you don't have popcorn, you gotta have
popcorn. You gotta have something. I mean, that's the movie's experience, right?
Yes, exactly. So, all right, guys, we told you that we had a Spotify poll, so we really want to hear what you have to say about this. This is interesting. So, Lindsay, what is the question?
All right. So which kind of show or movie would you rather watch? I'm interested in getting to know our audience and what do they tend to watch. So what are the options here, Michelle?
All right, a comedy, a thriller, or a rom-com. So, and a rom-com, I mean, so we're not just talking about a comedy here. A rom-com is what, Lindsay?
Well, it's not a comedy. It's not a romance. It's a romantic comedy, right? So honestly, these were rampant in the, in the aughts and in the 90s. And I think they're still making them. Usually they're based in New York for whatever reason. I feel like 90% of them are based in New York. But it's just sort of like fun, like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. That is the classic rom-com.
Yes, that was a great one.
It's a great one.
Or My Best Friend's Wedding.
Oh, yeah. These are classics. These are plane movies, right? Movies you might watch on a plane. Just good stuff. Good stuff. So what would you rather watch, guys? Make sure to participate in the poll, and we'll try to read the results aloud soon in the future.
Yes. All right. And also to check out another episode, head over to episode 2501 of the All Ears English podcast. That was just your presence, not your presence, gifting, etiquette, and American culture.
Yes. And to give you guys a takeaway for today, we could talk about like aspirational conversations about philosophy and the universe, but this is really what people talk about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest, this is the real stuff. It's like we did that series on the laundry. That's what people talk about too. Right. It's the daily stuff. It's the good stuff. It's the stuff that, like, as human beings, we get sucked into. Movies, suspense, TV shows. So having this in your back pocket to make that connection, that's where connection comes from. Right?
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, this is a lot of fun. And yeah, Lindsay, if you find any good movies, let me know, especially if there's a twist. But don't tell me.
Okay, I won't tell you.
Just tell me you will like it. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good, Michelle. We'll see you soon. Have a good day.
All right. Bye. You too.